Hey guys, just want to talk about feminism. Today was the Women's March and I did not go. I mean, I am a proponent of women's rights. I just want to call attention to a few things about feminism. Like, I think you can't be a feminist hypocrite. If you're going to be a feminist, you need to just watch yourself and make sure that you're not like only being a feminist when it serves you. Because I see a lot of like women's marchers, liberals who are pro-Hillary people, and they're saying, oh, like Melania Trump, you know, they're basically slut-shaming her. But if you call yourself a feminist, if you act like a feminist, if you want to walk around and act like you're pro-women, then, you know, you probably shouldn't be slut-shaming people, because you should believe that a woman has a choice to wear what she wants without, you know, getting repercussions, negative repercussions for that. So that's just one thing. You know, if you're somebody who's been slut-shaming her, then really stop and think about what you're actually doing, because, you know, you're a woman too, and the naked body is beautiful. There's no shame in it, whether it's big or little. And on the flip side, I was against people saying, oh, Michelle Obama shouldn't wear, you know, tank tops or whatever, show her shoulders. But anyway, back to the whole feminism piece. I just want to make sure that you know that if you're a feminist, if you consider yourself a feminist, you're against rape. Okay, you're against people taking away women's babies, right? Stealing their babies, murdering their kids, that sort of thing. I mean, women and children are kind of directly tied up and linked up there, and so like forcing somebody to be pregnant and taking their baby would be a horrible thing for them. And I think that we need to apply that to animals as well. Cows in this country, the female ones are tied up, you know, they're pinned up. They usually don't have very much space at all. If they are able to move around even past like 12 feet, it's usually only in like one barn for their entire life. If, you know, like I said, if that, and they're forced to be pregnant, they're raped, they have no choice, they don't get to, you know, have sex when they want to or whatever, they get to be raped. And not only are they raped continually, but they don't even get any time to recuperate. They're raped within the year after giving birth. They're forced to be pregnant, their babies are taken away directly after birth, within an hour, usually. This is terrifying, it's sad, it's horrible, it's devastating. As soon as they get spent where they can't produce any more milk and they can't, you know, sustain the pregnancies very much longer, they are killed just like their babies are killed for slaughter, for meat. And it's horrible. It's absolutely freaking horrible, the atrocities that we are, you know, systematically performing on these animals. So I just want you to stop and think about that if you haven't thought about that. I know before I went vegan, I never thought about this. Like, we don't even think about half of these things. And if you go, even if you go to, like, let's say you're a non-vegan and you go to a happy little farm because they have a tour and you're in the area, and, you know, they will brainwash you. They will tell you, oh, look how happy they are. Like, they only have to work half an hour out of every day. They only get pumped a half an hour out of every day. Yeah, but they're not free. They don't get to go anywhere. Their life is a miserable existence just so that people can eat milk and dairy and things like that. So it's really, really sad. You wouldn't want your baby taken away. So why would you, why, especially in this day and age when there's excellent, I mean, have you tried Ben and Jerry's non-dairy ice cream? You wouldn't even be able to tell. They have great cheeses. I recommend Chow cheese, Daiya cheese. It's all very, very good, especially the Chow. Chow is probably the best I've ever had. You know, and we don't need to be using and abusing animals, especially systematically when it hurts our environment so much. It's not only hurting our environment, the land, the air, the water, but it's also hurting the wildlife. We're cutting down forests, pretty much the biggest cause of deforestation, which is the biggest cause of wildlife loss, is animal agriculture, because we have to cut down so much land for these animals to graze, and grass-fed beef is actually the worst when it comes to deforestation and wildlife elimination. So it's really, really sad. If you care about animals in general, wild animals, diversity, you know, saving just species that are going extinct, then you really shouldn't be eating, especially beef. I mean, if you're going to give up anything, first give up beef and then give up everything else. But yeah, dairy is definitely horrid, 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 and it is murder. I always thought, oh, the saying milk is murder is kind of ridiculous, because to me it just felt like such a leap, and I never really allowed myself to think about it. But if you actually take the time to focus on your ethics for even 5 minutes, you'll realize that, you know, the babies are getting killed. These male babies. If you're a female baby, calf and you're born, then when you're taken away within that hour or so of being born, then you're going to be taken, you're going to have another little area where you're just fed. I mean, you just literally have nothing to do all day but eat. And then when you get a little bit older, they'll start raping you and they'll start forcing you to be pregnant and start that cycle. But if you're a male, when you come, when you come into this world as a calf, then you're just taken away. You might be raised, for a year or less, or maybe a little more. Of course, different farms are different, but they're taken away. And don't think that isn't painful. These animals cry, they moan, they can get depressed, and they are taken away to be killed. Some of them are killed for veal, obviously, milk, basically supporting the veal industry. Some of them are raised a little bit longer so that they can grow bigger to make more pounds. So again, I just encourage you to really avoid focusing on this cruelty, because as long as we are consuming cruelty, as long as we're supporting cruelty, it will be in our lives. It will be permeating our energy vibration on this planet with, obvious humongous negativity and cruelty and pain and suffering. And that's what we'll get. If you eat it, you are what you eat. So just say no to dairy. Again, try out all the wonderful alternatives. They're healthier as well. They're better for the environment and they're not cruel. And you can have, ethics that are actually consistent. So that's my 2 cents on that. Take care. Don't forget to eat your fruit. Thanks, guys.